Hello, how are you guys? It's been a while, right? Well, it's been 2 months since I recorded a regular video, but I did a tag and the spring hop in between. So, hi, how are you guys doing? Cheers. I'm Laurel, or Rel with the Dabbling Hook. I'm tired. I think that's my natural resting state now for the time being, because I'm always tired. And I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you to any new subscribers. Hey, I have 4,000 subscribers. Who would have thunk it, huh? I just realized that. So cheers to you all. Welcome. And for those of you who've been here, thanks for sticking around. I know I'm not consistent, and there's no plans in the near future to be any more consistent than I am. So thank you for sticking around, and thank you for anybody who is new to the neighborhood. Thanks for visiting. What's going on? I signed up for a, what's today? This is going to be another all over the place, no structure kind of video. It is Saturday, I was going to say May, it's not May. Saturday, April 22nd, I'm pretty sure. It's around there. It is gloomy. It looks like it wants to rain, but it hasn't. There's a bit of a breeze, but there's no sun. It's very gloomy. But having some Merlot, which is a mistake because it's going to trigger my hot flashes, so be prepared for that. But it was needed. Anyway, I signed up for a spring craft fair. I don't typically do spring craft fairs. I've done, the first one I did wasn't even a spring, it was a summer one. I said, heck, why not? It's a complete bust. That was years ago. And I said I was never going to do it again. And then I've done 2 in June a few years back. One was okay, one was not. And then I've done a couple others. So all in all, maybe like 5 between spring and summer I've done in the past, and they were not the best, so I typically don't do it. But I signed up because a shop owner who buys some of my octos to sell at her store, she was, she encouraged me to give it a try, so I did that. But then I'm like, oh, okay, it wouldn't be so bad. And then it hit me that most of I don't do spring items, all my stuff is like super bulky, wool blend, heavier stuff for fall and winter. And it hit me that all my toys, that my amigurumis that I make, most of them sold during the fall, and I forgot to change my battery and it's flashing, so I will be right back. So we're back, and hopefully it's a full battery. So where was I? Spring craft fair. Inventory, almost none. And I realized that about a month ago. So yeah. So needless to say, my hand hurts. I think I'm getting arthritis. I mentioned it to my doctor, and she said every time she sees me, I've always got yarn and I'm going, and she said I need to slow down. Yeah. Silly woman. Anyway, I realized I don't have enough inventory to be at a fair, so I've been crocheting, and I am somebody who can't do the same things over and over and over and over. Like, I see people when they have craft fairs, they'll make one item and they'll have like a bunch of that one item, and I can't do that. Over time, yes, and they have the same items within the same color. No, I can't do that either. I'm all about the color, and the hot flash is already starting. Anyway, so needless to say, I've been crocheting a lot, and I also made sure, I told myself to start early for fall. So I started making fall stuff just to have my inventory, so I'm not rushing come July. July is usually when I start. So I was in the fall craft fair restock mode. Then I had to put that aside to do for the spring. And I don't do dishcloths and things like that because I've tried it before and they don't sell for me, so I'm going to stick to the toys. So that does a number on the hand. So yeah, I've been busy doing that or trying to keep up with that, work, life, the whole, you know. And every time I think to make a video, it's late. It's too late. There's no light. There's just, it's too much involved. So needless to say, after all that, I have a lot to show you. And I also have a new pattern coming out. So last time you saw how giddy I got over the little hearts in the bricks color work pattern in knitting, and I really love it. I really love it. So someone, you know who you are, asked me, where's the pattern? And I'm like, oh, I don't really have a pattern, you know, I just jot down some stuff so I wouldn't forget. And then I turned around and late at night I wrote up the pattern, sent it to her and a couple other people, and I had a lot of mistakes in there, of course, because I did it late at night, which is when I usually do things, which is not good. So needless to say, they've been testing for me. You probably have seen a couple of them post on it, and I'm like, oh, it's my pattern, and I haven't even shown you other than that last video. So long story longer, I have a new pattern coming out. Stay tuned. I am fingers crossed hoping it's going to come out between Monday and Wednesday. I've got stuff to do on Monday, so between then. So I will show you what that looks like. And before that, I'm going to take this sweater off, this cardigan off, because good lord, I can't turn a fan on because it'll be very loud. So my room here, which used to be semi-tidied up, is now a complete catastrophe because I've had to, yeah, anyway. So there's going to be absolutely no order. I may start showing Amigurumi and may jump into something else or whatever. So, and I'm going to look over here. And the first thing I did, so I've seen everyone making the Hexagon, which is not a new thing, but you know, everything comes around and cycles, and you know, somebody new will see it and it gets traction. And I know Lisa, hey Lisa of Happy to Hook Creation, she's been making them as well, and I keep seeing it all over the place, so it's stuck in my mind. And I'm like, I'm not gonna make a big one because one, I don't like the big sleeves. And while I like things oversized, that's a little too much for me. So I'm like, oh, I'll make a little one just to get it out of my head. So it's so freaking adorable. It's so adorable. Now this reminds me of I have a pamphlet of it somewhere. It's called the Magic Cardigan. And it started in knitting, where you make basically the hexie and you fold it and it turns into that. There's a crochet version that I made, and if I can find the picture of it eons ago, when I go back and edit, and I'll find the picture. If I can find it, because I don't remember what year I made it, but it's got to be, oh god, my nephew is, how old is my nephew? How old is Dorian? Who was on camera with me ages ago, and he's been pining to come back on video because now he does it all the time and he just wants to be on video. But anyway, I think I ended up giving it to him, or at least when he was born. And so he's, oh my god, he's 10 now. Yeah, holy crap, he's 10. So yeah, I made it like 10 years ago basically, but this reminds me, the hexie reminds me of it, although that one is just one piece that you fold into an actual cardigan, whereas this is like you have to make the two. But isn't it adorable? So yeah, I just, like I said, I don't like the big sleeves, so I did just a little bit of decreasing here. Now I was hoping to take it with me to Boston to have one of my little nieces try it on, and I'm pretty sure it'll be too small for her, but I just wanted to get a sense of how big. And I may actually make another one because this is all cotton. Hang on, I hope the lighting's good. I haven't put on my ring light because it blinds me, and hopefully the window is giving enough light. But I used Yarn Bee rainbow wrap, and this is from pre-pandemic. Yeah, when they had one of the clearance. I have 2 of these. No, I had 4. Did I have 4? I had 4, and in the swap I did recently, I sent 2. Pretty sure I did. Did I? You know who you are. Yeah, oh my gosh, you could see how tired my face looks. Anyway, yeah, so I did that, and it's the colorway, I don't remember, Ivy League. So yeah, it's a little brighter on here, but it's about right. It's greens, shades of green that almost like look grayish, but yeah, grays, greens. So I use that doubled, of course, because, oops, doubled, of course, because this is a number 1, and yeah, me and number 1s, no, hang on. So yeah, I held a double, and I'm pretty sure I used either a 5mm or a 4.5mm to make that, but it's like baby size. So yeah, I kind of want to make one for my nieces, but I'm pretty much, you know, I'm in no hurry to make another one because it's out of my system. So that's that. I also had thinking of the craft fair for spring, and I know there's a lot of shadow here. I wanted to make something else besides amigurumi, just to have a little variety in my booth, in my stall. And I had Lime Brand's fettuccine yarn I got on, I think I bought it off clearance at a big box store, I can't remember, or a discount store that gets clearance stuff, and they get yarn often enough. They have yarn there now that I don't go because, you know, discounted stuff. But number 1, I would not recommend this yarn at all. Unless you have pretty tough skin and you can handle that. The yarn, it's Victoria, hey Victoria, of Alaska Crafty Gal. She, I think, was using the same yarn, a similar yarn, and she was making a rug or mat, and I'm not sure she pulled it out, but it gives you the thick and thin. It's different types of t-shirt yarn. Some of them are softer, some of them are not, and it really does a number on your hand. I think I went up to a 10mm hook. I ended up going 9 or 10. I want to say 9, maybe 10. I don't remember. Anyway, the first thing I made with it was I just, you know, started crocheting and did it on the fly. So I just made a bag, and I brought up my sewing machine since September of last year, October of last year. It's been put away, so I brought it up so I can just sew this lining. I didn't sew it with the machine to this because this is pretty thick, but I sewed it and then I hand sewed it to there. And because my hand stitching, because of the texture of this the fabric, it was a little wonky, so I found I had this rickrack here, and I just stitched it along the top to hide my not so perfect stitching. So I made this little bag basket. Oh, and the rest of this one I just made a quick little tassel. So there's that. It's pretty good size, pretty big and roomy, and you can throw things in there and it won't fall through. And then, pardon me, one fell. I had 2, 3, 5 more. So I decided to use it up because I just wanted it out of my stash, and it's been there forever. So I've always liked these hanging baskets, and I made a couple a year and a half ago or so out of regular acrylic yarn, and I didn't like how they turned out. I think it was just the yarn, not just that it was acrylic. But these hanging baskets. So this one is some leftover that I used in the bag that I showed you. So I finished it off and made this one. This is a small one. And then I had this colorway that I made that. And this looks wider in there because one of the cones of this had more white in it than the rest of it. These are supposed to be 2 of the same colors, but they, you know, look at the back. The first one had a lot more white in it. So I made that one. And there are tutorials on YouTube. Just look up crochet hanging baskets. They're different ways. They all pretty much start the same, and then, you know, people do little different things with them. But oh, looking at the neighbor. So there's this one. See, that last one kind of stopped here, and I think this last one I was kind of trying to, from the tutorial I first watched, I was trying to make it bigger, and because they just made a small size, and I kind of fudged it a little. And then I found this one. I think this one is my favorite, and maybe this one too. And then there's this one, and again, this may look kind of green on camera, but it's blue. It's navy blue. Let's see, it shows up better. Navy blue and white. Oh, what's he doing? He just drove up on his lawn on the side of the house. I'm being a nosy neighbor, yes. Interesting. Huh. Anyway, so this was the last one. It was in French. What's her name? She does French and English tutorials, but just look up crochet hanging baskets, and you'll find a plethora of hanging basket tutorials to suit your needs and what you like. But yeah, there's this one, and this yarn, again, they're all fettuccine, but this one is so much stiffer too than all the others. It was thicker and stiffer, and it really did a number. But it's the deepest one for this tutorial that I found. So as you can tell, there's more back to it here. So yeah, hanging baskets. So that yarn is completely out of my stash, thank God. And I would never buy it again. Okay, shawls. I'm still on a shawl kick. I'm still making shawls. I have a couple. My shawl, the spring shawl that I was making in the cotton from the spring yarn spring hop yarn, it's kind of off to the side because for some reason it's not flowing the way it flowed with the top. It's not flowing. I think you can see part of the top right there. It's not flowing on the shawl as much, so my brain has kind of put it off to the side. Really looking at the neighbor and where he just put his car, which has never been there before. Something must be going on in the backyard. Anyway, let me stop being nosy. Let me get the shawls because I have a stack here that's gonna, you can tell it's that high. It's like about yay high, and it's gonna fall. So I'm gonna be right back. So, shawls. If I showed these before, I tried going back to my videos, but you know, I wasn't sure a couple of them if I had shown them already. So, for the spring shawl, I said I knew what I wanted to do. Well, that was supposed to be the Hotel of Bees shawl. Figure spring, bees. I would do that. And I had one in progress that I decided not to do it because, well, actually I started it, but I had one in progress that I wanted to finish first because it didn't seem right starting another one when I had one that was almost finished, and because it was almost finished, I didn't want to use it for the spring hop. So this is the one this was the second time I tried the Hotel of Bees. Excuse me. And I got to, I think I was up to somewhere about here in it when I put it down. So this is my second attempt at the Hotel of Bees, and hopefully when I edit I will put a picture so you get a better view of it. But I use, all of this is Touch of Alpaca in a maroon color, a cream color, and this gold, I don't know if it's called goldenrod, but a gold color. So that's shawl number one that I finished since the last video, and this one was an old whip. I think it was about 5 years ago that I had started it. The first one I started, I ended up ripping out. One, I didn't like the yarn, and two, I couldn't remember where I was in the pattern, I think. So that's that. Shawl number two that I think this was my most recent finish one, is another big Sky Shawl. It's like my go-to shawl because it's just easy. A double crochet shawl, and you can, it's like a blank canvas. You can add different stitches, or you know, change a little bit of it here and you know, make it look a little different. So again, I will put in pictures, but it is large enough. It's been steam blocked. Everything's been steam blocked. So yeah, and this one I did in some shawl and a ball quartz. Well, not just quartz. It's like 3 different colors that for some reason they're all around the gray, black, white colorway, and some of them, one of them is Mindful Mauve, but I had taken out the mauve-y part of it and I just had the gray part of it left. So so it's like 3 or 4 different colors with grays in it that I just put together, and they worked out just great. So I will put pictures for a better view. But that's done, steam blocked, and it's the middle part of it here. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it's got sparkles, and that's the quartz something quartz colorway. So these, I am bringing the shawls to the spring market just in case. You know, you never know if they'll sell. Like that one, the shawl in a ball, it's a cotton acrylic, so, and it's airy enough, and you can always use a shawl on those cooler nights. So there's that. Next one I did was for Setta's calendar cal for February. I think it was the February. Yeah, the February one. No, the March one. The March one. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. But it's for February. Setta's cal, and I did the Kalicia's Just Feel Better shawl, and I modified it slightly to have, because hers increases pretty quickly, so I modified it slightly to have a bit of a longer tail. But I did this in some Malabrigo Rios, I think is Rios in Archangel. Is it Rios? I don't think it's Rios. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen, but it's some Malabrigo in Archangel. And I'm sure you could see the difference between here and there. Same colorway. You might hear snoring in the background. Father Minion's taking a nap. But it's the same colorway. The thing with Malabrigo is when you buy it, you want to buy as much as you think you'll need at the same time, because there is a definite difference in different batches in the colors. I mean, you can buy one that's exactly what you want, and the next one, like you could see all the more warmer pinky colors in here, and then this goes to just such a different color. Thankfully it flows nicely, but yeah, Malabrigo. So there's that, and it's a simple enough shawl, but it's done in a little bit more pricier yarn. Elevate. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, alright. I think this is the last shawl. That shawl was for March. I just saw what February's Setta's cal was. So this shawl can be as, I guess, small excuse me, or as large as you want. It's called the Fronds Shawl, F-R-O-N-D-S shawl, by Joanne's Grace of, it'll be a link below. But I had this yarn, I'm pretty sure I got from, yeah, Craftsy, before they went out of business. And it's an alpaca blend, or is it the llama? It's a llama blend yarn. And I've had the pattern for a bit, so I decided again, in the interest of using the patterns that I've purchased, one of the things that drew me to the pattern was the look of the picture and the yarn. I definitely use a more pliable yarn. I think the one they had is it's hand dyed, but it's a sturdier yarn. This one is very slinky and loose. And if I would do it again, because it's a pretty simple, you know, most of the detail comes from the fronds on the edge. But I will do it again at some point in definitely a sturdier yarn. But I used, I don't remember, I think 3 or 4 skeins. I think I used all I had of this colorway. I also have this yarn in a gorgeous red, like holiday-ish red color, and it may not show up, but oh, there you go. I think you can see it. It's got stellina in the yarn, and it's really pretty. And of course, it's my color, and I'm totally debating taking it to the market because the color is just, it's perfection. And I don't remember the name of the colorway, but if I remember, I will put it on. But another purchase pattern that I have made, I should have just put different things on my Make 9, because I'm doing the Make 9 with Kim, the Crafty Nomad. for Amigurumi, but now I'm making stuff with patterns that I've purchased, which is cool. So there's that. And I said I was going to do shawls, since I'm on a shawl kick, for Seta's Calendar Cal, but when the picture came up, I knew what I wanted to make, because it's another pattern that I purchased that I hadn't made, and the pattern is by Shondell of Classy Handmade. She's here on YouTube, and she has, I think she has a shawl in this, but I bought the poncho. For some reason I thought I bought the shawl, but it's the poncho that I bought. So since it was the February picture, it was like Black History Month pictures, so I made her poncho. So there's that. I will put on a picture, because I took the picture look. It looks better in the picture, obviously, than me just holding it up here, since I'm not trying it on. But I'm hoping this sells at the fair as well. But if not, it'll all go to the fall. I'm not planning on making another one, because it's not a complicated pattern, but that design in the middle, you got to pay attention to what you're doing, and I just need things that I don't have to expend a whole lot of mental energy on it, because anything like that just goes by the wayside. I will start it with all good intentions, and it just goes by the wayside. So she's got these little diamond motifs that have a leaf. It's called a Leafy Poncho, by the way, and she has a shawl to go with it. So so there's that. All right, no order, just picking what's there. In the vein of trying to get ahead of fall, I haven't made my big button cowl in a while. Actually, the last one I had sold at last year's fair, and that was from one that it was left over from the year before. So I decided to use some of my one-off skeins that I had, and I made it, and I'm almost, I think, out of the buttons. These buttons you can find on Amazon. When I first bought them, I bought them off Etsy, but then since then I was able to find them on Amazon. But they're like 2+ inch buttons. So these are all done in Thick and Quick. So that one has sparkle, that one has sparkle, and that one I had started a fringe triangle cowl in, and I didn't have enough yarn. And this colorway, because I couldn't find it, because I had gotten it on clearance, so this is a colorway, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a colorway they discontinued. So I rip it back. I don't know what that is all about with the throat, but I couldn't find a colorway anywhere, and I think I found it, you know, on Amazon where it was ridiculously priced. So I'm like, nope, ripped it back and made this instead. And I just added a crab stitch at the top of this one. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure I had a little bit left, and I made some headbands, which are the usual headbands I show. I think I have 3 of those in that colorway. Okay, other things getting ahead of fall is I just wanted to have some Victorina beanies in the sparkles, because those did go, and I think all of the ones I had, oh, my lighting, there you go. So there's that, the sparkly one, and these are pom-poms that I make myself. Very messy to make. I think I had like 1 skein of this one left. And this goes with that big button cowl. So there's that, and then there's this one. So all the colorways in, I think I need to fix my didn't realize it's not quite centered, but anyway, there's this one here. So all the sparkly ones, so that's all the sparkly yarns in my stash, all gone, because I think I had like one-off skeins and I just turned them into hats, so that's gone. And then this colorway, is it this one? No, I don't remember what the deal with this colorway, but I like to take my existing patterns or patterns that I've made from other designers and just zhuzh it up a little. So when this actually goes with, give me 1 second. So the hats I'm obsessed with. So there's that with the colors in here, and I had a little bit left. So that's one of the hats. So I'm like, what am I going to do with it? I didn't want to, hello. There you go. I didn't want to ball it up because I have a big bin of just scrap yarns over there that I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with yet. But my fringe triangle cowl that I just added a little band of color to it, so hopefully somebody will like that. Just a little something extra. Okay, this is going to be a long video, and I think that's all I have for, no, I was going to say for wearables. 1 second. Again, there's going to be a lot of, everything's all over the place, so hang on. Okay. And it just fell again. Where are we? Okay. This was, I think, 1 skein of yarn, no, 2 skeins of yarn that I had in the gray marl, no, barley. Anyway, it's the Thick and Quick. I think I'm showing you the back. Yep, that's the back. You can see where it joins, but it's not too noticeable. But there's this one, the bricks and hearts. Remember that name. So there's this one, and then this is just all the hearts, speckled hearts. And I pulled a Pam. When I first started the hat, I was gonna make one of these, and for some reason my brain just completely flubbed and I just went into the heart. So that's why that's there. It was unintentional, but it's there. So there's that, and then for the rest of it, I had a little bit left. So I just made a headband, just the bricks part of it. And then I had, again, remember I was talking about the sparkly yarns that I had, the one-offs. So, you see the sparkle? I don't know if it's going to show up. But, oh, I love these so much. I do. I love these so much. Oh. When you find that variegated yarn that's full of color and you don't know what to do with, or you may not have enough, oh, perfect. Perfect. And then, push it down. Use the rest to make a headband. Oh, and I've got faux fur in my mouth. So yeah, there's that. I've been doing a lot. One more of wearables. Okay, so I mentioned bricks and hearts. Well, pattern. Person asked me to write down, and mind you, I have one other pattern that's been in process for a while, and I still haven't gotten my butt off to do it because there's one of the stitches I need to either demonstrate or I haven't figured out how to explain it correctly. So anyway, there'll be one other pattern hopefully sometime this year, but anyway, it's long overdue. But bricks and hearts, it's coming up, and it's gonna be a set, so I love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh, I'm in love with slip stitch color work for knitting. I mean, I think it'll satisfy my need for color work as well as my aversion to traditional color work, which, you know, my tension affects a lot. So there's the hat, and there's a cowl to go with it. It's been tested. I just need to finish up a couple of things, and then hopefully by Wednesday of next week. So stay tuned. I will either do a post or a quick video when it comes out. Bricks and hearts. Alright, now, amigurumis. There's a lot. I've been doing octos. I've been doing amigurumis for the Make 9. I've been doing Leggy Froggies, and I forgot there was one more wearable. I'm pretty sure I didn't show this last time, but it's the slip stitch mosaic, but done a little differently. And this was somebody's cowl that I turned into a hat, and I think I prefer this way this portion of it. So this is basically the same thing done just slightly differently. But again, you know, it reminds me of at nighttime buildings with all the lights, you know, in the tall skyscraper buildings. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's like my love of yarn, my love of color, texture, it's all in one. It's beautiful. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what I'm showing you next. I was going to save this one for last, but it keeps calling to me saying, show me, show me, show me. So, actually, I'll show it after this one. So, Make 9. Kim, the Crafty Nomad. Hi. Again, hey again. She's doing Make 9 to encourage you, I just kind of showed it to you, encourage you to use your, or get herself to use the patterns or books that she's bought before. And we have all these books, especially after the Amigurumi book tag. Some others bought some more. I only bought the 2, which I showed you guys. To make at least 1 from each book. So 9 books, make 1 pattern. So this, I've made 4 so far. This is number 3. Actually, did I show you 1 and 2? I don't know, but I'm going to show you again. Number 1, I forget what book it was from. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. But this is not Dottie, something the duck, but I don't remember. The hat, I kind of stitched it on just here because I haven't decided if I want to permanently stitch it on, but it's got, and it's done in the Dollar Tree Just Chanel yarn, and it's being blown out totally. There you go. Gave her rainbow sparkly eyes I got off AliExpress, I think. Yep, got a little cape. The little cape here that ties on, and just, I think I bought this color and I had scraps of all the other. My camera keeps cutting off. It used to cut off at the 24-minute mark. Now it's just random cutoff time. So anyway, so that was number 1 for the Make 9. Number 2 was, I forget his name, Edward something, but it's basically an apple with a worm in it. And he comes out, but I think no, he's not stitched in, but he's pretty well wedged in here, and it took quite a bit to get him in there, so I'm not taking him out. But it's just apple with his, part of him sticking out in the back and out the front, and I gave him the smile. I like to put the smiles on, but, so that was number 2. Number 3, you partially saw. I made an elephant. And for some reason I'm into the fuzzy yarns right now, although when you cut them, oh my gosh, it gets everywhere. This next one that I'll show you, by the time I was done, I vacuumed no less than like 6 times because the bits, once you cut the yarn, it just floofs all over the place. But I call her Latte something. I forget what I said on Instagram, because the flowers and part of it, I added the flower to the top. It's on here. Looks like there was lint on there. No. So I added the flower on top, and I used Latte for her little necktie there. But it is, it's the Just Chanel held together with Latte for wherever you see the brown stripes, and then the rest of the body is made in, it's pretty sure it's Michael's Chanel Home. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But so yeah, that was number 3. Number 4, OMG, number 4. Remember when I made that humongous what do you call it, George the bunny, but I called her Georgette because I made a female one. And she was huge, and she now lives with my sister-in-law in Maryland, I think she's in. Yeah, but hold on, turn it this way. Alright, this is Sammy the Seal, number 4 from the Make 9. So this is from book 8, book 2, whatever book it is. But whenever I knew I was going to make it because it's on the cover of the book. And then Crystal from Ricola, and never get your name right, Ricola, Crystal. She made it, I think, twice. So I knew that's what I was going to do from that book. I made this a little too loose, but that's alright. It just gives it character. The bow should be like this, but oh well. But yeah, this is Sammy the Seal. Took 4 skeins, 4, yeah, big, and it's the super bulky yarn. The 4 of the chenille home from Loops and Threads. A whole lot of stuffing. A whole lot of stuffing. And the only thing is, when I sewed the tail on, I should have flared it a little. So it, basically, I sewed it a little too tight, but it doesn't matter. It's just, it's more than baby size. It's huge. It's like toddler, 2-year-old size. So, if I think it'll be a conversation starter at the craft fair, because I doubt anyone's going to pay what I want to charge for that. And if it doesn't sell, I may give it to my niece or just hold it for the fall, because somebody will buy it at some point. If it doesn't sell there and doesn't sell at the fall, then I'll give it to my niece. But I'm going to try to recoup for that because it was, yeah, it was a lot. Okay, lots of amigurumis. I am just trying to stock up for, like I said, for this craft fair. So, and I'm in the chenille, the fuzzy yarn phase right now. So I made, I was watching somebody who showed this cow, and I went looking for the cow, and there are 2 people on 3 on YouTube, and right now it's Mary Makes, Sweet Softy, and I don't remember the other one. It'll be below. But I found the cow. There's a tutorial. There's also a written pattern on the blog, which I think one of these I, you know, went and printed off the pattern, but that's the cow. It's supposed to be a strawberry cow. If you search that on YouTube, you'll find it. But this is the yarn I had at the time. So, strawberry cow. I didn't have any other color, so I had some scraps of just chenille that I ended up using for. One is the lime color, and one is the lime and the turquoise and teal color held together. But, and then I had the chenille home in this color, but I ran out. So this is, the ears is just chenille and just chenille Dream, which is a little thinner peep squeaky like yarn held together. Let's see if it'll show up. It's a little fuzzier, whereas you have the smoothness of these yarns. So that is, if you will, the strawberry cow in green. So there's that. Well, I think I did the tail differently, but it doesn't really matter. Then I think the same designer, I'm not sure. I've just been on the go doing things, but this dinosaur that I made. Yep, so there's that. Like I said, I can't just do multiples, and I gotta go over there, so give me a second. This other designer, I think this is either Sweet Softy or Mary Makes on YouTube. No sew, and that was the other thing I was looking for too. Something that didn't require a lot of sewing, a lot of steps, a lot of pieces, even though I did some of those over there. But she has a no sew duck pattern. So I've had, this is Premier Parfait. Oh, it's not gonna. It's not gonna, hold on. I'm trying not to make an avalanche. Basically, I made like 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So, there you go. That's one. This is regular, some regular pink yarn that I doubled, acrylic yarn. So there's that one. That's one. 2. This is also parfait yarn. I have it in that, I think it's called toffee and lemon or yellow or something. So that's 2. And then the beak on here is some chenille home yarn as well. And then this is just chenille doubled in, I think, mango and a purple color and some pink, whatever that is, more fuzzy yarns. This is just chenille doubled, and then I gave her a bow. And this was the first one I did with the parfait yarn, but those specks is Loops and Threads Wool-like, the super thin #1 yarn. So it's the smallest one. So yeah, there's that. No order. Oh wait, I missed one. The 2 parfait yarns, I doubled them and made that one, and I gave it the kawaii eyes. So there's that one. Okay. Oh, it's falling all over the place. I was in a dinosaur mode, and this is one of the 3 designers that on YouTube had a no-sew dino. So there's that one. I think I want to make another one of these in, what yarn is this? I think this is the just chenille doubled. Ooh, I need to tuck in an end. Oh, it's a good thing I'm making this video, isn't it? What else? Whales. I made this whale a few years ago, and I haven't made them since, and I wanted to make them since. Again, this one is from one of the designers I mentioned. If I can show up. And I'm losing light outside too, so it's probably why I can't focus anymore, but there you go. This one is so small, I put it on a keychain. This is from a different designer. This one, the designer kind of elongates the back. This one is just round. I added the mouth. Most people don't do the mouth, the tail, and this is just a bunch of all the yarn, the scrap yarns from all the toys I just showed. I just put them all together and I wanted to use them up. So, a scrappy whale. And let's see, sticking with the dinos. Let's see, there's another one somewhere. There's a pink one somewhere I can't find. Probably fell. But basically, there's a pink one like this somewhere. Hang on. Okay, I didn't like that I couldn't find it. So, this is all the same pattern, just different yarns. There is a there's a 4th one of this that's boxed up that somebody contacted me. They wanted it, specific color, went to get the color. Another reason I am really going to shy away from custom orders. It's only going to be what I have on hand. But I made it, I sent her pictures, and I'm waiting for her to send the payment, and she said twice she's going to send it, and I have yet to see it. So, you know, the only downside is I had to go out and buy the colors. It'll go in my inventory for the craft fair if I don't hear from her by, the craft fair is the first weekend in May. So, but this is, let me put that down. This is by one of the 3 Mary Makes, or Sweet Softy, one of them. Has the dino. She made a pattern, I don't want to say based off of, but she makes the, oh, you know, the regular dino that has, I think, 5 stripes by Blue Phone Studios. T-Rex, I think, is the pattern. But she made a mini version of that. And she has a tutorial on it on YouTube. So, and I think she blew up on Instagram because she made, like, the whale, the seal that I just made, she makes hers that big, and they cost enough for that, because you can imagine the yarn and the stuffing and just the time going into it. But so I made that one first, and again with the color work I had to train myself to not do what I normally do, which is yank and pull. And then after I made the one that she wanted, which is that first one is the size that I'm going to be making, but I had the yarn, so I doubled up some yarn and I made a bigger one. So there's that, and again, I put the mouth on there. And then I bought this yarn because they were having a sale when I went for a different color yarn, and oh, there you go, better color. So I made this size so you could see how, compared to me, how big he is. So there's that. Okay. It's been a while, right? So I started off trying to whip up as many octos, figuring my stall would be pretty much octos and whatever other little toys I had. So I've been making octos, and I had some leftover of this chenille home in this color. It's like a hot pink color. I forget what it's called. But added a flower, and because it was smaller than the normal ones I made, I just put it on a keychain. That I also wanted to give the octo a little bit of interest, so I gave her some curly Q ponytail. And the camera cut off of me again. So yeah. And again, Dollar Tree, Just Chenille, doubled up. Hi. I was trying for faster because, you know, bigger yarn will work up faster. Gave her a little bow. So there's that. I made this one, I forget when. This was one of the earlier ones. Made a flower with some leftover yarn, and then I just decided to put it on octo. This was around, is it around Easter? Or just for spring? I just decided. I just want to give them a little character to have different things on the table. So, little bunny, or a big bunny octo. Miss Puff Girl. Yep. And then, so I've always intended to make the third octo, and I'm still working on it. And this is what I came up with. I had to secure it in the back because I want it to have the head that's down like this, but to do that, it doesn't let it sit properly. So this was as close as I came so far, and I'm not too thrilled with it right now, so I have notes, but I think I may just have to do it and still have it tacked down. Otherwise it'll just be standing up straight. So that's where it is right now. So there's that. One day this will be the third octo, and there will be a three. There'll be a trio. Okay. Oh, 2 more, 3 more, 4 more. This one, I was doing the eyes and it wasn't staying in for the size eyes I had at the time, so I just decided to embroider and give her a little interest with a big old bow. So there's that. And then, of course, Easter and eggs, so I made her and gave her a little flower on the side. And this is all, again, most of this is the Just Chenille from the Dollar Tree, and you hold it double and you never know how it's going to mix, so it looks absolutely stunning, some of them. And then I alternate the colors together for the tentacles. Let's see, is this the only one left? At least that I can find. And since I was making so many girl octos, I decided to do a more boy octo. Gave him a little hat that he's got off on the side. So yeah, that's that. And I have other octos that are down there. I'm pretty sure I've shown them before, but they're down there. Okay. Oh wait, one more. I keep finding them. I did a blue octo. More what's considered boyish colors, so again, Just Chenille from the dollar store. And then I went, these were super popular last year, and it was the first time I made them, and they went pretty well. I have a few more over there, but Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Leggy Froggies. Now this is the pattern I bought from, not Jade, oh something. Names are not in my head. There are a few tutorials on YouTube with pretty much exact or very similar patterns, so you can look that up. One person, she does a ton of amigurumi, and in her videos, her background is all the amigurumis. She does it where this is open, so you can have it like sit on something, but no sewing of the limbs or anything. The only thing you have to sew is stitch the bottom close. Usually I either slip stitch or single crochet the bottom close. The last couple I actually did a whip stitch, but typically I just let's see if I can tell. This one here is just, you can hardly tell. This one is slip stitch closed. Let's see. I think all of these are slip stitch closed. I have a little pink left, so you get that one. And then this one, I was running out of the yarn, so I pulled it back and I just gave it little bobble legs because I ran out. So there's that, and then a few more. Okay. What did I make? Oh, this yarn I used in here as the stripes in here. This gray, it was a clearance yarn at Michael's. It's the chenille home, but it was clearanced out for like, I think $3. The regular yarn is like $10, $9.99, but this was on clearance for $3. So I had basically the whole skein left, and I was going to do a reverse dino, but my hands like enough dinos, so I just did these. Oops, 1 second. What did I use the brown for? Maybe I still have it somewhere. No, I used the brown in something because it's all gone, and I don't know where it is or what I did. Oh, never mind. The brown is in the big dino. I'm telling you, my brain. So I made more. So this was the stripe in the brown dino. So I made some Leggy Froggies, and then I had this much left of the gray, the Marley gray color. There you go. And then I used finished stuff with the brown, so it's like he's got pants on or something. And then I had a little bit left. So, oh, eyes a little off, huh? Huh! One's high, one's low. Oh well, that's what gives a character. So, again, I ran out of brown, so got baubles. Alright. Oh wait. I think that was the last one. Nope, actually. No, it's not. Hold on. Told you, I've been busy. I've been taking stuff with me to work, trying to get anything done. So I've had this yarn, which this color just wasn't working for me, but it's just been sitting there, and I've used bits of it elsewhere. But, so I decided to take it with me to work and just work up some froggies, and I'd stuff them when I get home. So there's that one. Okay, not gonna focus. There's that one, and I embroidered the eyes, and it just looks odd, but you know, gives a character. And I still have a little ball left of the yarn. I have this much left of the yarn, and I'm pretty sure this was from AC Moore. It was their version of, and it's not gonna focus, but it was their version of the not blanket yarn, because it's much softer. So that's all I have left of that. So I made this octo and used black yarn to embroider the eyes. So those two are out of that, and I have a little ball to finish up. Okay, so I think that's what I've been working on quite a bit. Probably why my hand hurts, like right here hurts a lot. So I've been taking it easy the last day or so. I am currently working on the calendar cal for April, which I totally forgot about because I was in Amigurumi mode. So I started that 2 days ago, and I have another day or two to go before it's done. Because I need to get it done before the end of the month, because I need to concentrate on getting all that ready for the craft fair. So, yeah. And you can't see, but there's still a big bin here of my fancy yarns that I used to have up there on my cubbies, but I want to catalog what's in there first. So I started, and I have some bins up there with stuff, and I still have a big bin to go. So yeah, taking on a little more than I should, but you know, it's yarn. When I don't play with yarn, I get sad. So, but I did take on. I shouldn't have done the craft fair, but I'm already signed up, and hopefully it'll be a good day. And if not, my amigurumis will be ready for the fall, so I guess it's not a total loss. So, alright, I'm going to, oh, hang on, I started something else. I know, I'm a hot mess. I said that I wanted some other things in the booth other than just the amigurumis, so I have the bags and the hanging baskets, and I've got yarn and lint, and yep. So this showed up on my feed on Instagram, or maybe it was TikTok, but I'm pretty sure it was Instagram. And I'm like, oh, that's a cute little idea. Something, you know, in the $1 to $5 range to have on your booth for somebody. I'd be more like the $3 to $5 range. But I saw this, and it was a sunflower they were doing. And I'm like, ooh, that would be perfect. So it's a little hanging pouch that you can put on your bag, and you can put anything in it really, but like your hand sanitizer or something small. Some people even do keys where there are 2 openings, and you feed the string through, tie the key on it, and then you pull it from this end so the key's on the inside, and then you hang it on your bag. But this is just a little pouch that opens up. So, and then there's a little loop on the front, and then the hanging loop on the back. You feed it through. Oop. It closes, and then you hang this on your bag or whatever. So I didn't have any yellow at the time, and this is cotton, and I guess you can use it whatever. But when I was at Michael's looking for the chenille yarn to do the dino, they had some of the cotton yarn on sale for $1, so I picked up a few. Even though I've gone through pretty much all my cotton yarns, I just re-upped some because it was $1. But anyway, I kind of like this. This is very, even though it's not yellow, it's very folly, but little things you can have in your cube. So I did that, and this take a bit because, you know, you got to go around twice with the petals. And cotton yarn is not, for me, it's not the best to work with. So then she also has, and I will put the link to her, she has cat ones. So I made a cat one, opens up. This one made with the tail. And these are all the yarns I bought at Michael's. And then I made one without the tail. Opens up. Same yarn, but this one's a little thicker, so it came out slightly bigger than that one. And then I'm like, oh, I needed something else because I didn't want to make just fell. I didn't want to make just a sunflower. One, because it's extra doing all the petals, and I need quick. Excuse me. So I found I went on to Ravelry and looked up appliques. And I found one that didn't involve many pieces that you have to crochet to stitch together. And they had a bear. So I just made 2 and did that. So I'll be making a couple more of these. I did find a YouTube tutorial, because when I searched first, I searched for just keyring charms, but it wasn't the pouches that came up. But if you search the pouch, a few more comes up, and I did find one that had a bear. So, but now that I found this applique, I can make this easily. So yeah, I love how this looks, but it takes a little longer than I wanted to. So yeah, these are cute quickies that you can make and have, and you know, dual purpose. It's cute. You can put something in there. Yeah. Okay, I'm totally worn out. That's where I am. I would say that I have to clean up, but yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Yeah, that is all. I hope this wasn't too cut off on me, so again for the 4th time. So that means it's time to go. Everything is all over the place, and I need to organize, at least for the craft fair. So on that note, I'm gonna trigger another hot flash and go try to put things back now that I've shown you, because if I hadn't made this video, everything would get bagged and you wouldn't see it. So it's all, most of it is all on Instagram. I don't think I've put the little, I haven't even taken a picture of these yet, so I haven't put that on Instagram, but most everything else is. So if you follow me there, you would have seen it. Other than that, I don't know when I'll make another video. Probably not till the, who knows, I don't know. I may have inspiration, I may not. Yeah, that's all. I need to go put all the amigurumis in the bin to get ready for craft fair. Now that I've shown you, I need to put price tags on them too. I try doing that as I'm going, but you know, when I do things late at night, it doesn't always work out that way. So, all right, if I don't say bye now, I'll just keep finding things to talk about. So, have a good rest of the weekend, and I will talk to you guys. Be on the lookout. I love it. Be on the lookout for the pattern release. Thank you to my testers. You know who you are. And I will talk to you guys later. Bricks and hearts. Easy slip stitching if you know how to knit. Yes. Even if you're learning and you want to do color work, easy. So, alright. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.